Good evening. Uh, Today, I want us to solve a question here on bank reconciliation, which was in August 2023, question 2. August 2023, question 2. So, I'm reading the question. The bank statement of question 2A, the bank statement of Maji Marefu Enterprise as at 30 June 2023 showed an overdraft of 23,24,000, while the bank balance as per the bank cash book showed a credit balance of 1,800, 1,108. Then they say that the following extract from the cash book of Maji Marefu Enterprise for the month of June 2023. You can see there is the balance brought down, the payments, this receipt they received during that month, and then the balance carried down. Then upon investigation, the following were discovered. One, a check received of 16,000 had been returned and paid. No adjustment had been made in the bank, in the cash book. So during the month of June 2023, dividends amounting to 124,000 were credited directly into the bank account, but no entries had been made in the cash book. Three, a check drawn for 12,000 had been incorrectly entered in the cash book as 132. The balance brought forward as per the above cash book was overstated by 100,000. Bank charges amount to 72,000 appear in the cash book statement, in the bank statement only. Checks amounting to 554,000 had not been presented in the bank for payment. Checks received totaling to 1524,000 had been entered in the cash book but deposits in the bank, but were not credited until 5th July 2023. A check of 54,000 had been entered as a receipt in the cash book instead of payment. Then a check of 50,000 had erroneously been debited by the bank to Maji Marefu's account. Required adjusted cash book and also the bank reconciliation statement. Solution. So very fast, quickly, these questions are not something that should give you problems. So we have updated cash book. Updated cash book. So it's like a T account. So we are going to have something like this. So because it had an overdraft, it was an overdraft, so the balance brought down becomes on the credit side, which we found here to be 11,08,000. So that's the first one. Then if we go to these matters that came to the attention, they say a check of 160,000 had been returned. So there's dishonored checks. There is dishonored check. Check of 160,000. Then number two, they say that during the month of June 2023, dividends amounting to 125,000 had been credited directly into the bank account. So this is a direct credit. Direct credit, you can bring them here as direct credit. It is dividend in this case, which was 124,000 because it was a receipt, but the accountant was not notified, so he did not put it. So you have to put it. Next, they say that a check drawn for 12,000 had been correctly entered in the cash book as 132. So this was a check that was drawn of the cash book. So which was, we have to get the difference. It was an expense that was overstated. So 132 minus 12, you get 120. So because it was an expense, so there was overcast of payment, which was the difference here is 120. So 120,000. Next, they say that the balance brought forward as per the above cash book was overstated by 100,000. So this was a credit balance. Now, when you overstate it, of course, if you overstate a credit balance, it means you're going to debit it. That to correct that error, you debit it. So overcast of opening balance, which was 100,000, because the opening balance was a credit balance. So means that to correct it, if at all it was overstated, you debit it. Next, they say here that bank charges amounting to 272 appeared in the bank statement only. So there's bank charges, you have to credit them there. Bank charges, these are amounts that are deducted directly by the bank. So mostly you only know them when you receive bank statement, 272,000. And then they say here that check drawn for 554 had not been presented. So those are unpresented checks. And then the next was uncredited check. So those one you're using them in bank reconciliation. So we jump them for now. Number 8, they say that a check for 54,000 had been entered as a receipt in the bank instead of payment. So again, this one is an error. They debited it instead of crediting, or they treated it as receipt instead of payment. So to correct that error, that is an error of complete reversal. Anytime you put the wrong entry, correct amount but wrong entry. So to correct error, normally you double that error. The easiest way you can always do anytime there's wrong entry, you double that error. So 54,000 times 2, you get 108. So the first 54,000 is to remove it from the debit side or remove it as a receipt. And the next 54,000 is to post it as an entry. So you can call it error of complete reversal. Error of complete reversal. So which is 108,000. And then they say here that a check of 50,000 had erroneously been debited by the bank into Majimarefu's account. So that was an error that's done by the bank. We are going to correct it when finding the bank balance. So let's close this account and see what was the updated cash book balance. So I start by adding it, 108 plus 272,000 plus 160,000 plus 1108,000. I'm getting 1648,000. 1648,000. So the balance carried on with the updated balance. So minus 124,000, minus 120,000, minus 100,000. So I'm getting 1304,000. 1304,000. So this is updated. This is our updated cash book balance. So we want to do bank reconciliation, but we must correct this error that the bank did. So corrected bank balance. Corrected bank balance. So let's correct it. So the balance disclosed. So the balance that they gave us, in this case, it was an overdraft of 2,324,000. So 2,324,000. In overdraft, it means you don't have money. So you have to apply parentheses. And then, of course, add a wrong debit. Wrong debit. So they debited this error. 50,000, you add it. 50,000. So that is negative 2324. Negative 2324,000. Sorry, negative 2324,000 plus 50,000. You get negative 2274,000. So this is the corrected bank balance. Corrected bank balance. From there, which of course it's still an overdraft, From there now we can do our bank reconciliation. Bank reconciliation. Now bank reconciliation. Of course, very quickly we start with balance as per the updated cash book. Balance as per updated cash book. Which was, in this case, it was an overdraft of negative 1304,000. Then you add unpresented checks. Add unpresented checks. In this case, unpresented checks was 554,000 in note number 6. 554,000. Then less uncredited checks. Uncredited checks of 1524,000. That is note 7. So we deduct uncredited checks. You guys know that uncredited checks, these are checks that were received from customers and had been taken to the bank, but the bank has not put them in the money in the business account. Then unpresented checks, these are checks that were paid to the suppliers, but the suppliers have not presented them to the bank for payment. So that's what they mean. So let's start. Let's solve this one. 1304,000 plus 550,000 minus 54,000. So you get negative 2274,000, which is an overdraft still. So this was a very quick question. To know whether you are correct, you make sure that, so this is balance as per bank statement. So you can see we have linked them. The balance was, the balance that we disclosed was 2,274,000. Again, the balance that the bank disclosed after we corrected that small error, it was 2274,000. So it means we are correct. It means I'm correct here. So this was a very simple question. It should take at most 10 minutes to solve it. Most 10 minutes to solve it. So this is how you are to solve it. It's not hard, it's not challenging, as you can see it. Okay, so from that point, I have no choice but to let you go. In my next video, I'll solve a question on incomplete records. So see you at that time. Now, thank you.